a very, very important subject. I mean, look at this cartoon here. Look at this. Just look at this. It says, "The facts are coming. The facts are coming." Science is all about facts. And in order to be a scientist, you need to understand the scientific method. Ready? Now pay attention. Here I have a boat. And I am going to put the boat in the water, and as I observe, the boat is floating in the water. That is my observation. The first step in the scientific method. Next comes the question. And my question is, if I put these pennies into that boat, will the boat still float? Or will the boat sink? That is my question. Next comes the hypothesis. Now this big word means my guess. I guess that the boat will sink if I put the pennies in, but what if I only put in 1 penny, or 5 pennies, or 10 pennies? My hypothesis is that when I put in 5 pennies, the boat will sink to the bottom of the water. That is my hypothesis. Mary thinks she can put 20 pennies in the boat before it sinks. Okay, we have our hypotheses all set up, so now we're going to do the experiment. That's the most exciting part of science, doing the experiment to test your hypothesis. Okay, Mary, go for it. Mary has put 1 penny in the boat and it didn't sink. 2 pennies and it still didn't sink. 3 pennies and I observe that it still did not sink. 4 pennies and it didn't sink. 5 pennies, that was my guess. But look, it didn't sink. So my hypothesis about 5 pennies is not correct. Now comes 6 pennies. 7 pennies. It didn't sink, but look, it's getting pretty low in the water. I think that boat will sink very, very soon. How many pennies do I have in there? I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, here comes 7 pennies. Nope. 8 pennies. Getting really low. 9 pennies. It's almost sinking. This is so exciting. 9 pennies. What comes after 9? I forget, Mary. Oh, 10, right, 10. It goes 10. Ah! The boat sank. It sank when I put in penny number 10. It didn't make it to 20, but it didn't sink at 5. So our conclusion of this experiment is it takes 10 pennies, at least in this experiment, it took 10 pennies to sink the boat. Okay, and all I have to do now is report the results. That's the last step of the scientific method, is to report the results. And I hereby report that 3 pennies didn't sink the boat, and 20 pennies was too many. But 10 pennies sank the boat. And now that I've taught you about the importance of science and the scientific method, I'm going to go to a protest march to show people science, not magical thinking, is how we should figure out the problems in this country. Please remember that and never forget.